Why does sometimes my mic not get picked up despite not being muted? When I open OBS, I had to like go to properties and reselect the mic. Anyways, what's up, Ori, Igor, and Mega? Fuck Pepsi? Yeah, I don't like Pepsi either. Pepsi flavor is, well, it just feels like, or tastes like sweetness, just pure sweetness. True, Ori. Yeah, I mean, we knew we were aligned on Coke. Okay. Straight to gaming. I have barely gamed in the past week. Fresh minds. Fresh fingies. Pepsi won't do. You have a German GF? Let's go, Mega. If true. Self-set challenge? Yeah, there's no officialness to this challenge at all. I just believe it is a challenge that has never been completed before, though there are at least a few people attempting, including myself. Most notably Goblin Osmosis on YouTube, who you should check out if you want to see like runs with explanations of strategy and like reasoning in certain key moments for itemless Tainted Lost. They're my inspiration for trying this. And they had a really close run the other day that they uploaded. Made it to Isaac. I think got Curved Horn. Curved Horn is pretty much the best, or at least one of the top trinkets you could get. Still not game winning, of course, but nothing's game winning really. But the relative level of skill competition you need to have varies greatly and can be astronomical if you don't have much upgrades. Also, I believe Legs is right that I need to exit the boss room still to potentially get drops from poops from a boss. What's up, Nando Sky? Legs is a YouTube watcher? Do I look for what's in? No, nothing was in the shop. Peep the secret room, which is I think next to curse room. Simply. What's up, Legs? If I didn't say that already. Also, Deltarune Real. Real, you waiting? I'm excited. And Silk Song, shown off. It's probably coming out in the summer, but supposedly by the end of 2025. Though reportedly they don't like to release games at the end of the year, or would prefer not to. Not to say that's impossible though. You believe 2026? It's okay to believe 2026. I think you may be pleasantly surprised. And I will still... Oh, wow. I will still... I'm not even gonna super try to go to alt path because I actually want to make it farther in the run. And I'd rather skill be more so of a factor. At least for practice reasons. I just want to make it further more often. Yeah, I asked for time off. I have June 5th off, even though for me it's coming out apparently at 9 p.m. on Thursday, June 4th. Or not Thursday, on June 4th, the day before. Yeah, this Direct was crazy. I was at work and like kind of forgot that Direct was even happening. Did not expect news at all. But good for Toby, good for everyone. Yeah, that is the most surprising. Like, if you are a huge Bloodborne fan, a lot of people's reactions are just confused, and they're, like, not letting themselves get fully excited because they're like, is it really? Is it really it? And by the end of it, it's still not clear. Ooh. I'm not going to buy the card because I already have a good enough one. Maybe if you're, like, a huge lore knower, it would be obvious. Hey, Theorus, thank you. Coming out sooner. You're gonna use a VPN to get it sooner. I definitely do not mind. Ooh. Two pretty flies, pretty good. Yeah, I know. I didn't think so either. I am extremely pleasantly surprised. I have watched that trailer no fewer than like 40 times. That song is it is a more realized version of the cut intro. That was shown off as a scrapped concept in the what is it? The Three Dads live stream, the Deltarune, was it 6th anniversary live stream? Whatever year anniversary live stream. And also the image, a lot of people I don't think get the reference. The Jockington grows the beard. That was a joke on the Three Dads live stream. If you have not seen that live stream, do yourself a favor and watch it. It is like my favorite. I mean, literally Toby Fox talks the most you've ever heard him talk. I mean, with text-to-speech, mind you, but it's just so fascinating and one of the coziest like live streams ever. So you're going to be up first. Okay. Well, at least. So it seems like now I'm just going to stream myself playing it without looking at chat as soon as I can play it. So anybody who somehow experienced the game sooner can watch me or not. They can do whatever they want. I don't expect to be watched live by that many people, though, because I would prefer people to experience. I mean, if they intend on playing the game, I would like for them to experience themselves first. What? When was the I don't even remember the moment I found out. I think it's when No, it's when I just like settled into my workstation and checked my phone, and then I saw all the notifications and realized what it was. And whoops. I realized everything within like a matter of moments, and I'm like, wait, what? And so it was just like a reality so quick. I didn't even have time to like be shocked. I just had to accept it. The secret room's connected. That's like the most painful waste of bombs right there. This is a popular Undertale mod. Doesn't know. I remember the magic of the day before Chapter 1 came out, when Gastro appeared on Twitter, and we had no idea what was going to happen, and it was about to be Halloween. The vibes were immaculate. I regret not being more of a lore and that was dumb. A lore knower back at Chapter 2. I think I've already said that, but man, am I ready. Am I ready for these next 2 chapters? Also, is anyone insane? Like, one of the biggest things, if you've read the newsletter, Toby saying that, like, I don't know if he was seeming to imply there's only one trophy in Deltarune on PlayStation, but there's at least a trophy that is apparently, like, hardcore in some way. And he says it's, like, frustrating that it even exists, or it should be agonizing and frustrating the fact that it even exists. And I'm like, what the what is that? What is it? There's no way it's a no-hit challenge. People's best guess, and only thing I can think of is a saveless run of the entire game. But wait, that would only make sense if the game was done, though. Like, what would there really be a trophy for playing through to the end of Chapter 4 without saving? Like, why would there be something special arbitrarily at the end of Chapter 4 for not saving? So then what is it? Or is it like, maybe it's like acing, like getting, maybe it's full acing every like mini game, something like that. I don't know. I think it is some skill-based thing though. The way he like it, which I'm very excited for. But the fact, like the way he's like, please, I don't recommend that anyone attempt this. I'm like, you could not bait me. You could not bait me any harder, Mr. Dog. Although I don't have a PlayStation, so I won't be able to, like, get whatever trophy. If it is, like, a skill-based thing, that's crazy. I won't actually be able to get it. I'll just be able to know that I would have earned it. bombs do nothing to this guy. No, you're gonna do the big jump when they're all alive, aren't you? Of course. Die. Okay. I could have blown up the confessional, but... Okay. Being annoying if it was just a no-hit. Well, if it was just a no-hit... I don't know, no-hit through Chapter 4 would be crazy. That won't work because you have to transfer saves between chapters. Yeah, I didn't know how it worked, actually, because I've never attempted that. I think it's still, like, you unavoidably have some kind of save data, even if you don't save, or it just straight up won't work in some way. Wasn't sure. So my best guess is it has to do something with, like, perfecting in the max way every, like, mini game, because, like, in the trailer it showed several new mini games, so I'm like, maybe something like that, or there's a particular mini game get like a certain score. I don't know, something with Pluie. Okay. Secret room. Does the secret room matter? I was sort of looking for it before. It didn't seem obvious. I did see those random screens. I've seen everything. I've 100% seen everything. With the newsletter, with those extra, like, screenshots from the articles that are, like, switch borders that show, they showcase the stealth zone, presumably Tenna's design, even? Or, like, close to? Hello, Jefferson Jr. Nor would avoid. Yeah, I mean, like, I feel as though Toby wouldn't give anything that super gives stuff away. He's been very careful. The Tenna thing is a little wild, but I wonder how similar the sprite really will look. Because usually they take some liberties and it's not exact with that type of thing, but we'll see. It very much seems as though Chapter 4 will take place in the church, though. That it seems like 90% at least to be the case. I would be extremely shocked at this point if it wasn't. Wouldn't care, really. I don't need it to be. It just seems like it will be. A lot of people, though, like, I've seen people talk about how we aren't going to take the TV Dark World to Castletown, like anything from there. But, or I've heard some, like, mixed talk about that. A lot of people seem to forget that Mettaton asks if you could bring them some entertainment tomorrow at the end of Chapter 2, which seems to imply you literally bring the TV. Or maybe something else, but it seems to strongly imply the TV, at least at face value. But yet, in the trailer, we saw a shadow guy, shadow man, whatever, in Castletown. So, huh? And I mean, well, it seems it's also optional. Surely that's not story forced you to bring the TV to Metaton, but maybe it's a choice. And the computer lab, that just seemed to like happen. It almost had nothing to do with bringing the physical objects. I mean, a lot of them weren't really physical, so makes sense, but... Or wait, is there dialogue in chapter 2 where it's like you packed up everything before you left? Does it actually say that at some point in chapter 2 as you leave the computer lab? Can I get a confirm on that? I don't remember that, but maybe it does. It does say that. Okay, so, okay. The weird thing about the light world is that it's meant to like resemble it's meant to be the real world parallel in game in a bunch of ways. Yet unrealistic stuff, don't forget that unrealistic things can still very much happen in the light world. I think when people theorize, people seem to think it's like true realism. The traffic jam shit made no sense, and other gags like absolutely make no sense. So that's the thing with Toby's writing. Like, I don't care, but like, how much does it all matter? It's really difficult to predict what's going to happen when that is true. Undyne bench pressing the car is realistic. Everything else about the traffic jam. And again, I'm gonna keep saying it. Nobody points out how the man behind the tree is real. Is like a Lightner, presumably. Literally seen in the, maybe that's just so obvious and I'm just the only person. But like I don't, maybe it just is that much of a given that nobody mentions it. But like, not just a Dark World character, not just a secret Dark World character. Literally interactable in the traffic jam section if you got the egg. Nobody factors that into their theories. So there's a man. Is it a human we're referring to as a man? That's what gets me. Or what? Is it one of the mascots? I feel like there are several like suited people, or is it really only the purple guy? I'll try to get a third pretty fly. Risk tears down, speed down.
Health up. Experimental.
That's perfect, actually. I don't think I'm not of the opinion that the egg person is completely just face value meant to be a reference to Easter eggs in general. There's definitely more to it than that. How much more to it than that? Well, obviously we can't guess. We cannot possibly know. Okay, that's a little bit low on the shot speed side, but... Obviously, it is a reference to Easter eggs in general, but there's something. And Lancer's saying you won't survive your teen years without at least one egg. Which makes me think you get at least one egg for... Or do you get at least one egg for free? I know that... You can, like, duplicate an egg in Asgore's fridge, but I don't think there is one in there by default. And obviously, I mean, the text of the egg is not too important, not too unimportant. So there's at least some use. I don't think it's a Gaster. Yet, I mean, it makes sense to sort of be Gaster, but... Like, there's Gaster-ness to it. But, I mean, and it is a man, but is Gaster, well, Gaster is the only person we know that is referred to as man. And it's similar to the fun events. However, the main reason people don't think it's Gaster is it really because of the song not having Gaster's theme? I mean, it gives somewhat of a vibe of like weird game brokenness as Gaster, but doesn't have the motif exactly, or like at all. Oh, the way there was a meme video by ProZD about eggs. I think I've seen it. Oh no. Yeah, I don't expect. Oh my goodness. I'm bracing myself to not get full answers to every little bit of the lore. But I'm expecting everything to be addressed in some way, whether or not we get all the answers. There's like all the major mysteries will have some addressing. And at worst we'll just be sort of like Kara and left up to interpretation in that way. And there might be like, you know, fan debate till the end of time. I hope it's not on the same level as that. I think the message and things will be more clear this time around. Some are going to argue it is 100% clear with Kara. I am not scared to say that I don't think it is. I guess it depends on how deep you're trying to read like lore information and like from Kara. I don't know. I mean, Gaster is the only thing I really care. Like, I need anything with that guy, anything, and we're almost, well, not almost certainly, we are certainly getting something, obviously. Hold on, I've like taken a hit on this boss several times recently. Sans timeline stuff. That's the stuff I'm like less hopeful about, yet like has to be. Has to be a little something. I guess it doesn't have to. But it's the thing that like has begged the most questioning for a long time. I mean, other than Gaster. Ow. I forgot that shit can be like that. I do have another. Hold on. I have to stand way back. I have to sacrifice so much damage just to be safe. It's already hard enough to like get damage in on the boss. Get out of here. Die. Okay. Okay, we're set. We're set. Don't forget postcard really makes it seems like it'd be answer. Oh wait, you're right. That's one of the key things. I need, yes. Like, actually, the thing tethering Undertale to Deltarune. The freaking machine. And Toby's one cryptic. I wonder if Toby regrets posting that tweet where he said, like, the machine is broken. They can't fix it. Nobody can, or neither of them could fix it. Whatever that. I wonder if he would have preferred to never say that, because that seems to imply heavy things he has not implied elsewhere. It is from when he was still Flug Radiation. When he replied to tweets of people who played Undertale. It's okay. Or I think he said neither of them could fix the machine. Nobody can. Something like that. Oh. Dang. The shot speed honestly really sucked. And I just wasn't able to play the rooms at any sort of comfort level. As a result. And slight niche intricacies of dodging scenarios with certain enemy combos I was not reacting to appropriately. Very due to my unfamiliarity with depths enemies. Like, I can autopilot on basement and caves enemies, but because I don't experience the depths and farther more often, I can't just automatically do the correct thing because I have way less practice and time with base stats, or close to base stats on that. But I'm more resistant to doing debug practice now because I know, like, nobody else is doing that. Also, I'm just, like, lazy at this point.
I found pills.
Yeah, he keeps the wording as vague as possible, which I'm glad, because I just want to be surprised. I'm now leaning more towards Gaster actually just falling into the core. I don't know if you've seen Jaru's most recent theories. I know Jaru is like a crack theorist in people's eyes. They've actually been quite what's the word? I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of, but they've been quite level-headed. Thanks, Fasha. Basically, his most recent theory is that the Earth itself has been pointed out on several occasions to, like, be a living entity in some kind of a way in the games, both games, Deltarune and Undertale. And he went over the examples and certain connections that, like, can be drawn from that. And I'm quite convinced. And he even was able to intertwine in the Darkness Totem's name in the core, thinking that basically Gaster was genuinely, which, I mean, seems to be clearly what the core is, harnessing energy in some kind of geothermal magical way from the Earth in well, a place that looks like it's close to the center of the earth, even though I'm sure it's not. But maybe it is. I mean, it's like closer. But I mean, the legend, the prophecy, having the earth will draw her final breath. And there's more things. I can't remember it all off the top of my head. But the most interesting thing to me is Undyne. Ajaru made incredible points when it came to Undyne and Undertale about how special. It seems that is actually significant, and you could miss the implications, but so it's like she realized you were a world level threat, like a world destroying threat, and she said something like, I can feel everyone's hearts beating as one. And it's like she was taking on the mindset of like, I'm saving everything. And that's the only reason. It's like she took on the Earth's determination to persevere or to survive or what have you. And that's why she was able to transform and maintain form. As opposed to if you try to kill her in another route, you're not really like a world-ending threat. She just melts because she can't sustain the determination. But the fact that the track has like the choir in the background as she's saying all of that, and it's called But the Earth Refused to Die, and she's talking about how she's like feeling connected to the whole world and all the people and like every soul. And Jaru made the point, Undyne, the Undying, is the only being that's able to withstand hits. Well, okay, you know what? That's actually not... Well, it's the only main boss that can take hits in the game. And it's because... And supposedly because she's being supercharged by, like, the Earth's power. Whatever. I like that interpretation. Though, I guess if you think... Like, there's a couple questions with that. It's like, why can basic enemies then take hits? They don't all die in one hit. And you could make the argument that it's or in tandem with that argument, you could be like, well, you're not a high enough love or level yet to one-shot more things. So that's also why you can't just one-shot the Undying. Yeah, no, you could, but you could know, you one-hit Undyne before. I forgot. You do just one-hit Undyne regular. Only when she transforms can she take... Forgetting about the normal enemies crap, I think there could be a different explanation for that. It's seeming on the money a little bit. My explanation of it isn't great, because I'm just, like, giving you half points. Jaru's presentation is very intentional and effective for me, because he lays it out by, like, giving you the heaviest hitting points later. He gives you all of the build-up and all of the information in a decent, maybe to some people, a rambly way, but I think in a decently effective way. He just talks slow. But when he gets to the main, like, hinging points that are likely to convince you, his presentation of them can be very convincing. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was somewhat a believer. No, I'm not even somewhat. Like, I actually was like, dude, this guy solved Deltarune back when I watched, like, Piles of Azrael's Dust theories of his. I mean, I didn't believe the events that he specifically laid out, but I'm like, wait. It was when he was saying how he honed in on the point. He was one of the first people to hone in on the point that Deltarune is Undertale's parallel story, and he was getting into how it's like Toby Fox is telling the same exact story again, but some elements are just inverted and it's not immediately obvious, but it's very clever and incredibly effective. At that point, I think he's right to an extent, but I do not believe that Azrael is possessing Chris. That's not happening. It's like Jaru has good material in there. He gets attached to his specific ideas. But I don't know. I can't speak for the guy. I have no idea. I definitely enjoy his theories though. Oh, what's up, Butcher, by the way? And Otko. Welcome. Mount Ebott could be a volcano. It's true. I mean, it's true. 99 versus Jerry. Okay, I have like stalled on this floor for ages. We are resetting. Had to talk to Eltrin for a little bit. I'm not going to discover the weird routes. I will play them if there is like special content within. Like if there's like, I'm assuming there's going to be a different boss fight eventually towards the end of the game, maybe sooner. But once there's like challenge fights or unique fights to it, that's the only time I will go out of my way to do it. I'm fine just knowing about it otherwise. Unless it's like, it starts getting extremely weird and like a completely new adventure pre the end. Then perhaps. I mean, it sort of depends on how it is. There's no really being surprised by it, or maybe there is a way for it to keep iterating and getting more and more surprising as it goes on. People think they have it figured out in a certain, or not figured out, but they think it's gonna follow some type of trends, but maybe it won't. Maybe it'll be completely strange and unexpected through and through. I don't know how you'd pull that off, but perhaps it's possible. What am I doing? Yeah, I respect anyone who keeps themselves most insulated and unspoiled.
Holy card.
I'm fine receiving the crumbs that Toby gives us. Like I said, I don't think it's going to give away too much, and I just want to be as ready to pick up lore and story information as quickly as possible. And quickly and easily as possible. Knowing as much context beforehand as I can. I agree with you. I am skeptical there will be a weird route in Chapter 3. It seems to be very much tied to Noelle specifically. Yeah, I would doubt that you can like halfway do it. Whatever you do in Chapter 2 Weird Route seems like you can't come back from it. Tears up.
Health.
Lockdown.
Pretty flat.
Keep getting pretty flag. Nice. It seems like Toby is mostly straying away from the multiple outcomes thing. That definitely seemed. I can see him having that be a Undertale thing only. I mean, obviously there's differences based on the choices you make, but I don't think there's going to be like these different routes based on like when you choose to abort the weird route. Again, it's all guessing. I'm wondering if Birdly is just simply dead or something worse somehow. Yeah, I know, I agree, Butcher, and a lot of people share that viewpoint. That is lacking creativity. The big question is if he can be unfrozen, like... Is there a way to undo it? And what happens when the Dark World is just... when the Dark Fountain is sealed? We don't know the mechanics of... We cannot even begin to guess that because we understand, like, 2% of Dark World mechanics. Or, like, Dark Fountains, how they work. I agree, Hyena, but I don't think it's Chris. I think it is specifically the player. I would be surprised to find out Chris had any idea that any of that could have happened. It's more interesting in the horror sense if Chris has genuinely no idea. And then it just starts happening. Well, there's been new theories out there that Ralse is actually the vessel. Or there's like one actually pretty decent theory. It sounds surprising, but I can't summarize it because I don't really remember the points. I just remember being like, huh, that actually is somewhat convincing. And one of the YouTubers, Cammy Boy G, made a community post saying that, or he's in the middle of making a long theory that is about that very topic, like what Ralse is specifically. And he made a community post saying that someone beat him to the punch recently with a Ralse theory, and I believe it is that one. I know that was same room twice when I did realize that. I just didn't. That actually is quite unlikely, isn't it? Like back, like directly connected. Yeah, Chris is quite indifferent at best to Ralsei. Yeah, I didn't fully appreciate how unlikely that was. That to be the exact same room with no generative differences. I think there's no champions or no champion and no different rock. Obviously, the rock, the way the rocks look is different. That's it. I might just fucking talk Deltarune. Like, I don't know if I can play this game. I keep looking at chat and I'm like half thinking of what to say. And you haven't watched we're watching it. Hyena, get this. What are we doing? What are we doing right now? Yes, this is my base thing. Hold on a sec. That is my default browser page, to nobody's surprise. We're watching the trailer and I'm giving my comments again. Hang on. Okay. 4K. I'll just let it play and shut up. Oh my. The ending. I'm gonna think of that 700,000 times before it comes out. Or, oh my god. Okay, and now I'm gonna give you my thoughts on certain moments. God. Oh, sorry, Butcher. I know you didn't want to see anything, but you saw it. Well, you knew. You knew what was happening. Oh, you said you'll watch it. Okay. It's like this is what Toby expects you to see. Like he'd be surprised if you didn't play the game and didn't see this, because this is literally on the Steam page. This is the Deltarune main trailer. Well, I can't say that, but it seems to be. At least for now, it's the most main trailer, and it doesn't really give away too much. Seemingly, like you can't really guess as to. I think it's okay. Anyways. Nothing to say about this first part. I really like the silhouettes with the colors. It's giving Device Theory. If you've watched it, I like Molly did the same thing. Like having the silhouettes and like as representing the characters and talking about them and like what they represent. It's just the color coding, the silhouette. They're lost in the dark. They've regained life. You gotta make Susie find herself again, Chris. Yes. Oh my, it's the cutest thing I've ever seen. We love it. Just looks at Ralsei. Ralsei comes out of nowhere. See, yeah, Ralsei finds us. Very true. Ralsei is just there. Inserting himself. But we love him. And no new characters here, except for, let's get that most visible frame. Shadow Man, this is what I was referring to before, but we got Lancer, Hathi, Newbert, Queen, Caterpillar, Rudin, Mr. Horsey? Or wait, no, not Mr. Horsey. I'm stupid. He says Horsey. Fucking, what is that guy? Nostrils for eyes. Ugh. Pop up. Addison. Pink Addison. Swatchling. Task Manager. Rules card. C round. What the fuck is this guy called? Mr. Elegance? Because Mr. Society is the other one. Is it really? I guess it is Mr. Elegance. Yeah, nothing. There's no new content in this. Very little to talk about. This is chapter 1. That's chapter 2. Also chapter 2. Chapter 2. Although, don't miss it. 66. The caster number? The HP? In the trailer? Hello? Okay, it definitely was a coincidence, but... Okay. Or, wait. I didn't point out the new. We have seen this before, but it looks like it was polished even further. Everyone can shoot a soul from their fingers. We got limited ammo. It's like an aiming thing. Very simple. We get it. This is, Toby said in the newsletter, utilizes the Switch 2 function of having like 2 mouse controls at the same time, and it's like a cat minigame. Definitely is some pun on using mice to do something with the cat. And then it seems in the background, is there a freaking creature looking at me? Because that is what I'm getting from this. It seriously looks like pupils that are getting bigger. Like, it could just be colors and design. It could just be like circles that like, I mean, because it starts with green, then it's yellow and red. Like that's following some kind of a pattern. Could just be a pattern background. But is this like a giant cat looking at me? That's what I'm getting. Is it like an orange cat with green eyes? Is this a character? What is this? It just really seems like that, but it could just be an illusion in my imagination. But as to what these objects are, anybody. Yarn? And these are shield. I have seen on Twitter. Someone said these are shields that also resemble cats in a way. Very hard to tell, but that seems right. But it's very similar to, see how we're stuck in the circle. Very similar to, I think this is chapter 3. Very similar to like Undying. But we're not the green soul mode. I think this is a mini game. I think Toby, actually, I'm not sure. And I don't want to spoil too much for Butcher. Even though I don't think that it is too consequential, but there are, well, okay, I'm just gonna not really restrict myself. I don't think it matters that much. Chapter 3 is said to have more, like, it's a less regular chapter, and it's going to have like more mini game stuff. Clearly, as is shown in the trailer, we got this, which is probably after chapter 3. Well, it doesn't. Do I need to guess where it is? Not really. But we got that mini game, and then we have an actual rhythm game mini game. And yes, there are smear frames. The animation is amazing. And back here it says Lightner's Live. I did not solve that. Somebody else said that. And then Susie, interestingly, you cannot. Now she is playing like a difficult drum thing, but you can't play for Susie. And I wonder if you ever can. And that seems to be continuing the theme of Susie is beyond our control. Susie has total agency that we cannot override. And she overrides ours, in fact, in the story multiple times. And it's significant most every time. So that's an interesting thing to be kept up. But yeah, I don't think she's actually even... Is she even hitting this right? I doubt it, but... Or has she already failed? You're right. Could have already failed. You are so right. We could be reading too much into this. But okay. I'll let that be a liquid thought. And then... Oh wait, lyrics not popping up on this one. Or was it like is it like in the first frame? I swear in other videos there were like lyrics popping up right here. It's in the screenshot only. Okay. So there are like more lyrics that we haven't seen before. And the speculation is it lyrics that were made for a totally different song, or is it the rest of the lyrics for Don't Forget? Because in chapter 1 in the credits it says excerpt when listing Don't Forget. So we know we can presume that's not the full song. I want to know what the rest of the words are to that song, but it almost certainly is going to spoil the game more. So I'm happy to not know it. I can't wait to know it. Yes, Theoris, yes. Get ready. Get ready to hear... Oh my... Just get ready. Multiplayer minigame. That would also be played using one Joy-Con per person. I wonder... I'm wondering how this all works on PC one player with keyboard. But we'll see. Everything works. From Toby's mouth, like... Nothing, like, although that other minigame, like, using the two, whatever, like, mouse control things at once, like, is Switch only, there is going to be a different way to control this, same minigame, or at least very, very similar minigame. Yeah, just with different controls. So, presumably, for everything, there is a way to do it. I don't know if the Switch has unique control ability for all of them. I don't think so, but we don't know. I'm doubtful on the multiplayer, but... Well, there might be, like, a way, though, with multiple controllers. Anyways, Rousey... So cute in this one. Look at the pose. And then this, I will refrain from saying some things because this could be stuff Butcher does not want to know. But this strongly hints at things. It's the first time. I don't think this is an in-game. This is a real in-game image. This is not spoiling anything beyond like what we already know. Yes, there's a smiling TV. That's at the end of chapter 2. I think this is just an Everdread animation. It's meant to be like a 3D weird looking thing. And if this is epic, I don't even know what this is. This looks like the silhouette of like some evil Terraria eyeballs. I barely know Terraria anything, but like also the way they're like the physics are on them. Am I cooking? Does that make any sense? I swear there's some Terraria object that's like shaped that way and moves somewhat like that, but I just keep replaying it. Deltarune symbol, and can't really guess anything beyond that. Like, what's there? Anyways, this ending animation by Temmie. Oh my god. Oh my god. That is literally the angel. It's literally the angel opening up, and it's a save point! And the soul is in this middle. It's there. And Deltarune is waiting. What is Deltarune? It's not just the symbol. Is Deltarune literally the save point? And that is literally the device, so to speak? That's literally what's tethering us to the game, the function of the save. Like, it's more than the physical object. It's like the concept of what it is, but that's literally... That's it? I don't know. You get what I'm saying? I mean, that's not a new theory or anything, but... The player is the angel seems to be, in some sense, is definitely true. Some kind of Deltarune. Deltarune also, like, both... It's a compound word comprised of words. Well, Delta can't mean too many things, but rune is, like, the most vague word. You could use that in so many ways. But surely it's not just talking about the most common expectation of a rune. It just can't be. Or, like, the most common definition of, like, rune. Oh, to me, what do I even think of? I think of, like, a magic stone or something. I don't know, but that's not even true. Or a magic symbol. That's... I don't think that's what everyone thinks of, though. Molly's interpretation was sort of the broadest in thinking that, but like, see, it seems to tie in, thinking that break Deltarune into meaning, like, well, Molly interpreted that rune. What? How do I say this? Is like the device, or it's this is basically saying. Okay, let me explain it this way. Molly's theory is that Gaster has a device built somewhere that is like powering our ability to be connected to the story or to the world. And that the object itself is the Deltarune. And Deltarune broken down in terms of the device basically just means like change machine. That's like, I'm not explaining it well, but I like, it's vague enough to where you can apply it to the themes of the game and it makes sense. It's like the game is making me change because of the impact of the story. And also I'm making the story change and progress by my input. But I mean, it's so vague though that like I don't think I can be like, yeah, that's so right. Anyways, I don't know if any of what I said just made sense or sounded a sliver of intelligent, but that is the thing. Yeah, the Deltarune has more to it than just like... the save symbol isn't even present in the Deltarune, actually. It's a circle with wings seemingly attached to it. And then, yeah, the 3 triangles. The 1 down and the 2 up, representing 2 Lighteners, 1 Darkener. Assumedly, Chris, Susie, Rouse. So how does the save point? How does it all... But I like that it's Deltarune is waiting. And then that... The game came out for... Yes, obviously. Just talking about Deltarune... I don't know. Phrasing it in a sentence like that... I like it. Doesn't have to mean anything deeper. I just like it. But I also like to think that it might mean something deeper. Anyways, it's coming out June 5th. We know that. For me, sooner. And some will even be able to play it sooner. Somehow. You're right, Igor. Like, scrolling up. People are getting caught up on the color changes. Yes. I mean, well, like, there's, like, the slightest possibility that people could be right about, but seems to be something like a dark world just got created or something like that. At the part you're talking about where they're like darker or like shaded darker. You know what I'm talking about? It's true. Yeah, it is. It's true, Igor. I don't think there's any reason to assume any lore significance about like deeper dark world stuff from that. I definitely don't have much confidence in that just by seeing that, or I feel as though I have little reason to give much weight to that interpretation. It seems as though it's like it's reminiscent of the entering the closet dark world. I'll give you that, because the ground is falling, and the only time we've seen that happen is in the closet dark world. Yeah, but I don't know. Okay, don't have much more to say for now. Okay. I guess I'll whatever. If I really get a run, I can learn to video edit. And by video edit, I mean cut out a singular portion. I most likely am going to begin playing Deltarune and doing like beta challenge stuff in it prior to release. Don't know how soon. Obviously going to do preparatory save file playthroughs. It may also practice Undertale like true pacifist again, no hit, well, who knows. But I do have a surge of drive and excitement and all of that as a result of knowing the release date. But I still need to recover after the friend trip I went on. I have been sleep deprived for like the past week, and my brain, like, words are not easy. I definitely am like 10 to 15 IQ less in my speech. Highest on Azrael in the end. Not like not great. 5% definitely was generous, or 3%, whatever. I think I said. I'm thinking of like whatever percentage I pulled out of my ass originally when doing no hit Azrael. I think it was like I said, like it's like 97% chance that it's impossible to no hit the phase 4 attack. That is like, I guess, somewhat accurate, but my definitely didn't have a 3% consistency in practice. Well, like on stream, I just sucked. I was not that good. It seems like the more I played it, I almost got like worse at being able to read it. Like I cared about each of the individual missiles less, the more missiles I saw, or comments, whatever. And I wasn't like, but like when it was all more new to me, I gave each object like more care and attention. I don't know if that makes any sense. It seemed like the less I did it, the more of a chance I felt like I had.
Paralysis.
And the more I attempted that attack, no, actually, I'm just gonna keep repeating myself. That's like the same thing. Yeah, like that's the thing that gives hope, is that I know the rest of the game can be done consistent. Barring Flowey, that is a humongous skill check and slight luck check. Oh.
X-Lax.
Nice. Whoops, didn't mean to sleep.
Luck up. Horf. Puberty. Telepill.
Oh, give me telepills again, please. No, the secret room. I don't even think the secret room is there. I'm pretty sure it can't be.
Gulp.
Nice. Yeah, speedrunning is absolutely brutal. Gulp. Practice just didn't seem to help at all with Phase 4 Azrael. If anything, it just ruined my sensitivity to the bullets and made it more likely to get hit because I was less careful in worse ways.
Health up.
If that makes any sense. That's a rewording of what I was trying to say earlier. I think that just, that being the case just means that the attack is that incomprehensible and there is a low skill ceiling probably. I was improving at Flowey though. I could have kept doing that. I wasn't even like fully motivated to keep doing it, to be practicing it, but I was consistently practicing it for a time. I'm 100%. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Theoris. I might try to do no-hit challenges in Deltarune. There's Traka Bart Peeg, which is the silly acronym for what's essentially all content in a row no-hit with a demo. I think it's Pacifist, Chapter 1, Chapter 2, plus Snowgrave. All in a row. But I no promises that's gonna happen. I'll always try to like do a basic no-hit of the chapters, probably. However, I don't know what the best way to practice Deltarune is. Do I really have to just have save files and just reset to familiarize myself with each enemy, and I have to like redo a save file basically if I want to re-practice on a particular enemy again? Is that actually how it has to go? I mean, if it is, that's okay. I can live with it. Nothing is too difficult on its own. Yet. The main thing that comes to mind that I'd be worried of getting hit on is the A+ Papers attack on Birdly. And I need to get better at reading Birdly's tornado attack. For some reason that confuses the shit out of me too. Obviously the secret boss attacks, but I think those can be... I'm confident those can be done pretty consistent. There's debug mode for Deltarune. Okay, then that's probably how you go do it. Oh, wait, yeah, where wire is a tricky one. Honestly, I think I am most likely to get hit by a regular enemy. The bosses are easy to practice and get great consistency on. At least to me. They're not easy to. They're easy because they're like interesting to replay. And in a way, because the attacks are more restrictive, it makes it easier to tell what to do for dodging. The simpler enemy attacks, the possibilities are so open, it can like lend to hesitation from not deciding a move quickly enough because you're thinking too hard about what the best move is. At least that is something that happens to me when I start prioritizing safety like super hardcore. I become like too safe. And I'm trying to do the safest thing every time, but also reaction, I forget that reaction time and just reacting in almost any way quickly is better sometimes. Seems of quick save commands. I've never learned how to use that in Undertale. I know there are save states. No idea how to actually use them.
Range up.
It's very possible I just keep the Isaac offline until I become, like, better. Now that I think about it, I think Deltarune would be way easier to stream. This requires too much constant, like, focus. With Deltarune, I can be, like, in the middle of a battle and not do anything. And it's no big deal. And I guess this is similar in this game. I just don't like sitting for a long time in this game. Or, I mean, with the challenge I'm trying to do, that would be not great. But, like, with just, like, practicing the game for no-hit or doing attempts, I wouldn't care about, like, focusing on chat for longer periods. That's, yes, better put, Butcher. It's a lot more downtime and less to think about. Wow. Wow, I keep getting holy cards. Yeah, I gotta see that Noelle development, yeah. I am so invested. Really, just all of the main three all have huge mysteries around them. Susie's backstory. I mean, I guess Noelle's backstory. To get or like further information. I mean, Susie's backstory is glaring because we literally know nothing. Chris, we just want any input from at all. And Noelle, I can't quite have like I don't have a similar simple phrase to define what's going on with her. I'm really wondering how much boss monsters come into play in the lore of these games. Will that matter at all in Deltarune? And I'm fascinated with how exactly Deltarune is similar to Omori. Like, how similar is it? Because Toby has seemed to spill the fact. He has not explicitly. This could be 100% wrong. But it seems as though in the past Toby said that Deltarune or Omori's story is extremely similar to Deltarune's. There are certainly parallels that are immediately obvious. What I've thought of, actually, is thinking on that trend. What if Asgore is keeping, like, a family secret that Toriel doesn't even know? Maybe not even Asriel knows. Involving the bunker that Chris and Asgore both know. And because what makes me think that is the fact that Asgore parallels Basil. Because, well, Asgore is, well, very gardening centric and flower interested, and almost has a personality. In Deltarune has a similar personality vibe and relationship to Chris. I think that there could be something there. Like, could it have involved Des? That's basically what I'm thinking. Like, people theorize that Asgore got taken off the Force because of what happened to Des. Like, wasn't able to find her. Chris knows what happened. Maybe couldn't even tell Asgore. Asgore just knew that Chris was involved and got away safe, but they weren't able to save Des. And Asgore just like made up something or refuse to give answers. And it would follow that he would be removed from the police force after such an event. I'm not sure I necessarily want that to be true. Like, there's certainly gaps in that explanation. Like, how could that fully make sense? But of the pieces that we have, that's about as full of a picture as like intertwined. Hold on, I can't think of a sentence. It's about as good of a guess as we can have. Like, trying to put the pieces together of like Omori parallelism and what we know of, just what we know so far. Igor, you have a crack theory, Igor? I know you're not going to be able to. Is there a way that without explaining you can... I might be able to understand it with like a short sentence? Or like a sentence? If not, that's totally fine. You can keep it to yourself. You don't feel pressured to dump it all. But I would be interested to hear it. You need to go and call it turn into. And oh wait, yes, Gerson just died normally, exactly. However, Gerson could die normally because he has children. Theoris. Gotta remember that is it. But we don't know if we didn't even know if Gerson was a boss monster though originally. We just weren't able to kill him because he was a shopkeeper and never left the shop. Was never an interactable NPC like directly. Yeah, boss monsters only age when they have children. If they don't have children, they're immortal, basically, unless they're killed. Or, yeah. Or not killed, but, like, die from harm. From damage. I like to believe those lore details of Undertale that, like, concepts that didn't quite get explored will be in Deltarune. And it's gonna be, like, subtle. Oh, so far, I mean, nothing like that is hinted at all, but I would love for those concepts to come back and the interesting things that we didn't see happen end up happening and mattering a lot in the story. And that is what you had to hinge on to predict correctly. What am I doing? But I could also see it not meaning anything, or it not being explored in the story. Oh! My god, Igor, how the fuck have I not thought of that? Oh my... Wait. However, where does the bunker... Where does the bunker get tied in? It doesn't have to be. The bunker could be an entirely separate matter. People are making that leap in logic that Des has to do with the bunker. But actually, is there anything hinting that Des has anything to do with the bunker? The references to water, though, and... oh my god. Oh, that would be... And Chris being, like, blue as if drowned. Would be... Oh, if that were true. If that were true. Like, Chris could definitely seems to be racked with something. You don't just be that way with a seemingly loving family and sibling. Although, divorce. But why? And just divorce? Me no think so. Me no think so. Although, divorce. I like that idea, you were. That ties in the water well to the story, because it seems to be very significant. And the depths. And memories being such a... And being a concept that is definitely going to be fleshed out, and definitely is going to have to do with Gaster. I almost don't want to think of... I almost don't want to try to think of it all. It's exhausting to think of the possibility of Black Rune. Do we risk a stat up? Or a stat... Oh, we always risk it. We always risk it. The lake will be the last Dark World. And this, that just, you, something with that lake, obviously. It's not just Onion Sun and whatever intel we get from Onion Sun occasionally. There's some shit to it, and you are 1000% right. This is it? The run? I win? What do I save Black Rune for maybe if a library or something shows up, or I could double... If I get a 2 pedestal, I'm using it right away. But I don't want to use it on just 1 pedestal. Am I being too picky by doing that? I think I gotta try to maximize the value. I mean, I can survive for at least a couple more floors, maybe? I have a hard time committing to predicting Dark World locations. Beyond what is already widely accepted for the upcoming chapters. I am struggling with a dark fountain being created outside. I'm thinking that, I mean, obviously we don't know the mechanics of Dark Worlds, but I'm thinking that you cannot just simply create a Dark World outside. You need to have, like, sufficient determination or whatever to do that. The reason you can do it in confined spaces are because they're smaller confined spaces. The lake is, like, forgotten about, but underwater, like, that is a thing that people don't try to think about, like, creating a dark world underwater. It's definitely, I've definitely seen it mentioned in some theories, but yeah, I figured you didn't just mean, like, outside, like, right next to it. I think I've been everywhere. That is a good point, Theoris. It does not. And similarly with the Closet Dark World, it didn't just immediately all leak out. The doors were open. Like, wide open, but it didn't leak into the school. Though the door was shortly thereafter closed behind them, but we really do not know the mechanics of Dark Worlds, and I don't even know if they are exact. There's a Gaster video that I saw recently that I think is undeniably close to, like, giving the deepest yet most accurate interpretation that we could have for Gaster, by Chris Roomba. I'm gonna link this because it is fascinating and it puts the pieces together and explains them very, very, very well. But Gaster just being a... Oh, wow. Wow. This theory got so many views. What? I watched it when it was, like, really new. Why did Toby Fox create Gaster? I believe this is the video. I am pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Did I, like, accidentally link twice somehow? Or it posted in both chats, that's why. Every double door. Yeah, I mean, double doors are definitely sus, but I don't think we can hold to that or care too much about it. I mean, there's only 3 more potential that we can guess from the pattern we have. Dark Worlds. And I think there's more double doors, or more double door options than potential Dark Worlds than we can assume to exist in the future. I like the idea of Burger Pants having a larger role in the game, and a good point that Cammy, the Deltarune theory guy, pointed out is that we don't know Burger Pants' real name. Like in Deltarune, Bratty calls him Pizza Pants, but that's just another stupid nickname because of an embarrassing moment, just like Burger Pants. Guy has a name, and we don't know it. I don't think it's Mike. Would be hilarious, but they're like, imagine though. Imagine if it's Mike. I'm gonna lose it. But I wonder, like, if that'll have any significance. Doesn't deserve a real name. And yet, the inside of ICs is suspiciously detailed. I hope, like, I actually do want a horrific ICs Dark World. Would be awesome. But we will see. IC keeps getting referenced. It's like, what is up with IC? Have I explored? I think I explored the chapter, the world, the floor. And there are only single pedestals to Black Rune, so I'm going to go to the next floor. And like, yeah, oh, like let me acknowledge that more. Your comment up there, Butcher. Do you think if the idea of dark worlds are a reference to places that birth creativity and imagination is correct? I like the idea of the depths as an inspiration more so than the flower shop. Microwave, yeah, people have said that before. It's either like microphone or that. Hey Luma, I'm 10% playing The Binding of Isaac and mostly just talking about Deltarune. So it's possible. I'm trying not to. Well, I can't say I'm trying not to spoil, but there might be. It won't be like significant, but I know you want to keep probably unspoiled. But you do whatever. It doesn't really matter. Probably. That's true. And a lot of it won't even make sense, I don't think. It's escapism and how an engagement with fiction, our ability to suspend disbelief, like how stories can impact us and how they might manifest into actual reality and changing your personality and how you carry yourself in the real world. That's definitely a big theme in Deltarune that I'm so looking forward to see, like, what conclusion Toby Fox has about all of this. If there is one, what his true take? I will definitely learn by the end of the game, but what his true take is, and I wonder what he considers like valid forms of creativity. And how important, like, engaging in different, like, or engaging in creativity, like, how important he believes that is. A lot of people, I mean, at least I get a lot of recommended videos telling me that it's incredibly important, but I don't do it in any of, like, the traditional ways. I don't know if any of my, like, gaming strategizing is in any way mappable onto being considered creative. Like, maybe strat finding, but I mean, how often am I doing that? I don't know. I worry about, like, if I'm like if I'm not being, like, living correct because I'm not engaging in some creative pursuit. So I'm looking to see what answer Toby Fox has to that. Gotta get into level design, but, like, in what though? And why? I don't know if they're, like, if I really care. Like right now, there's nothing that I super care about like I did back in the day. But it's not I have the power to turn something into something that I care about a lot. But I tend to not be the source cause of that happening to me. Usually it's just the thing exists and it's just inevitable I care about it that much. But I don't want to discount the, like, I know it ultimately comes from me. I don't know. I'm like all over the place thinking, and like I need to limit the deep thinking because I need several more nights of good sleep. My brain has to repair itself after this past week. I do not feel confident in my deep talking ability right now. Hey Clyde, thank you. It's been a while since I've really streamed, has been the case for a while. They've been infrequent. Hey Toxic. Thank you. I get, like, in these rare streams, I'm like way more insecure about like what I'm saying. In the past, I used to just yap and not care. Now, like, I'm trying to, I don't know, like in the past, like, year, talking has seemingly gotten so much harder. And I can't place my finger on exactly why. I know I can't even freaking focus. Whatever. Like, I want to pay attention to what I'm saying. It's hard for me to just say things. I don't know. I need to do deep thinking in order to, like, a lot of the trouble is that I do most of my thinking out loud, and when I need to output in order to have the cogs in my brain start to turn in specific ways. Being articulate takes practice. It does, and I have had to communicate less with people. My lived circumstance doesn't require me to communicate with people nearly as much as it used to. And so that's one thing. I feel like my vocabulary and speech habits that used to exist are shrinking or slowly disappearing a little. That's one thing. And like certain social fears have been given the chance to like re-emerge or newly emerge or just like grow. as a result of that single fact. But I've just started to worry a lot more about not making sense and like I dig myself into like a deep philosophical, trying to make some wide-reaching, grand, full circle conclusion based on a little thing, and I just keep going on side tangent after side tangent. That's always been a thing, but in the past year, it's just gotten worse and worse, and I like can't. In the moment, I don't ignore the impulse. Like, I just give in to the impulse to do that. It's become such a habit that I get lost in my own talking so much of the time. I don't even know what points I'm trying to make. Or I forget midway through because like I just tend to want to say too much. I can't condense my ideas into shorter, briefer whatevers. I think I'm also like trying too hard to say meaningful things. Like I'm putting pressure on myself to have some profound thing to say. So I keep talking and trying to make like a spiderweb like connection, or like I give a diatribe that has like a spiderweb of connections with all of the ideas that I bring up. And then I have some like big conclusion that is satisfying at the end of it all. Very rarely happens, but it seems like does that make sense? Every single time I talk or have a conversation with someone, it goes into that, and then I feel like this pressure, and I'm like, how do I talk normal? I don't want to like give a lecture. I'm not trying to. That's not my goal when I try to talk, but that's what ends up like habitually happening. It is something. No, it is something that actually bothers me, and it's tougher for me to be like brief. I don't condense information. I tend to give every single detail I know and also explain how I know it. Instead of just explaining what I know simply and trusting in the simplest terms and just trust that the person believes me, I need to give all of my reasoning as to how I know that to be true, which requires a lot more explanation all of the time. Yeah, those are things I've realized. It's nice to be detailed in some ways, but it's getting out of hands, and I've become like more afraid of talking because I don't know how to control these things. And what's happened is that I've been getting lost in my own talking as of late. I mean, for a long while. But I think I made a good point when I was saying that I'm putting pressure on myself. There's this background pressure that I need to say something meaningful or significant or of substance. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I don't need to overthink it. I mean, I don't know. I need to be, better conscious in the simple but correct ways. Like what you're saying, Theoris. Just need to have the goal in mind. I operate without a specific goal in mind a lot. And I think that is where the source of confusion probably comes from in a lot of ways. Or in a lot of places. I don't think I'm continuing to play Isaac. How long has it been? How has it been 2 hours? How has it actually been 2 hours? Is there anything I could shortly do? Or want to do? Not really Odyssey app until the end. I just need to be more aware. Like I have those ideas, like everything I just shared. I don't always have those ideas in my head. And it seems to like fly out the window as soon as I'm having an actual interaction. I need to first practice remembering those things, that I know those things in a conversation. Then I should be able to start thinking in the right ways to hopefully improve. Talking to erratic people? I don't. I do not write at all. That is something I definitely know I could benefit from and don't do whatsoever. I think I definitely need to just output words more, whether it be writing or talking. But obviously, you don't necessarily have opportunities to talk all the time. I think a writing practice of any kind would be beneficial, and I should just do. And I have known this, and haven't. Honestly, I think it is just that I'm very aware, and naturally, I just am not getting as much practice as I used to socializing. I'm pretty sure that's simply why. Doesn't matter how much awareness you have. Okay. I've been reminded of important things. I appreciate the advice, guys. And Ori, thank you. Those are good points. Okay. Yeah. Oh shit, no. Okay. I need to take the pressure off and end the stream and get some sleep. And next time I will stream once my brain is like actually rested and feeling closer to the top of my game. But not too long in the future. Probably not. But it won't promise anything. I will see you next time. Thanks for sticking around. Bye-bye.